pretty much gave me the empowerment to say to myself, there's a different way.
Treat me as a person first. I am a person. He believed in me, and that is like the sole reason why I started to believe in myself.
It doesn't matter who you are or where you live. Mental illness does not discriminate, and there may come a time when you or a loved one needs help. The Mental Health Association of Westchester County is here for you.
Welcome. I'm Amy Cohn, the Chief Executive Officer of the Mental Health Association. You are about to see why MHA is so important to you, your family, your neighbor, and to Westchester County. Each generation witnesses human catastrophes and great challenges to the human spirit. Each person I meet has a story. MHA exists in order to help with each and every story. For 65 years, we have been devoted to one thing, to one mission, helping people maintain control over their own lives in the face of emotional or mental health issues. MHA is Westchester County's agency solely committed to being there for you, your family, and your friends.
I got tired of everything that was going on at home, and I ran away when I was 16.
And I was admitted to the most competitive of the state universities here in New York.
After being a tennis pro, I went back to graduate school at Duke University, and I became an operations systems analyst for an airline.
Yet somewhere along the way, Scott, Michael, and Jessica's stories brought them to MHA.
I was delusional, but I thought my grandiose thoughts were the right thoughts.
I was staying with my ex-boyfriend in a studio apartment, sleeping on the floor.
It was the most difficult day of my life because I woke up completely delusional. I thought there was a tree growing out of my head, a little, like you might see a tree. I thought its roots were in my mind and its trunk was going up towards the ceiling. I was terrified. I believed it. I mean, I really believed it.
At MHA, recovery is a journey of healing. Our staff has the expertise and dedication to help each person rediscover lost hopes and dreams, or even find new ones.
I became a volunteer at MHA because I have a son who suffers from mental illness, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about. I actually feel that with my son, because I did so much talking about it and I wasn't embarrassed, that I was able to get him the right care.
Mrs. Pert and her husband were raising their grandson, Carl. Depressed and overwhelmed by the loss of her husband, Mrs. Pert was afraid her grandson would be taken from her.
A lot of grandparents are doing this alone. These babies, parents, they're in the streets somehow. And being a grandparent, you don't want to see your grandchild in the system.
Our Children's Care Management and Family Support Services brought stability to Carl and a sense of peace to Mrs. Pert.
We're not alone anymore.
We have an unconditional acceptance of Jessica, and we have confidence and belief in her.
Jessica's story brought her to Crossroads, an MHA program designed to help struggling teens transition into adults who can stand on their own.
We had a team approach at MHA. You know, we strategized, we assessed, and we certainly saw Jessica as someone who certainly looked to move forward in her life and try to do something different.
And he fought harder for me than I did for myself to get me back home and get me to where I'd be safe. And it showed me that I should be caring as much as he's caring, if not more.
All kids like me want is a chance.
MHA runs the only CASA program in Westchester County. Without our CASA, more children who have been abused or neglected would fall through the cracks.
The program is referred to as CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates.
And that's a rather fancy name for trained volunteers who are appointed by judges to speak for the best interests of a child.
As a CASA volunteer, I am a link between where that child is and where that child wants to be.
then you would know if they are in the right educational program, if they should be in special ed, if they are in need of counseling, sometimes if they even need clothes.
She stood up for me, she spoke for me, and now this is my home.
This is a good place to come to for recovery and ultimately jobs.
The Sterling Community Center is where people who have had their lives disrupted with psychiatric symptoms can find understanding, mutual support, and regain meaningful life roles in the community.
It's fantastic the number of opportunities they have here in classes. You can take yoga, write poetry, go to a dating 101 seminar.
MHA helped me a lot, especially in the beginning. They got me housing. Housing is more important than anything. You need a base before you can start looking for a job.
The security and stability of permanent shelter fulfills our most basic and profound needs. Our residential services provide people with a safe and affordable place to live.
MHA and the things that we do here within the community, within the different cities and towns, working with the kids and working with young adults, working with older adults, we do make a big difference in the lives of those people and the people around them and the people around them. So we are here to strengthen the community and make the community a better place for everybody.
I want people to know that MHA is there if you need them, and you should never be embarrassed to go out and seek help for mental illness.
You have to first talk to people and be in the company of those who are in recovery. And I would tell them that recovery is not an end state, it's a process. We're in recovery always. It's a very profound state. It's like you feel like you're normal sometimes, except for the stigma.
My hope in the future is hopefully get married, move, get my driver's license.
MHA helped me realize there is another way, and they did it through what they do here best, which is create a magical environment for people to recover in.
MHA will respond to each person's story with care and respect. We will continue to address the indignities and stigma associated with mental illness, and we invite you to join us in our work.
If we are wise, we know that there's...
And here is the edict that we live by. MHA will continue to take the lead in championing recovery-focused services, person-centered services, and dignity and autonomy for everyone we serve.
So I guess you're going to edit that part. Without MHA, Westchester would be a great big goose egg.
That's right.